We're streaming. I have a question. If scientists if scientists found a cure for aging, how many years would you like to live?
I'm not liking the years I have now.
So you would not use it, but you don't want to shorten your life, right? People don't
I
want.
wouldn't trust any scientists who said they found it.
Mm, no, but if it exists and if it is reliably working, would you take it for how long?
No, I wouldn't.
Because of the trust or because you just don't like life?
A little bit of both.
It
The
is sad.
problem is that what you're dealing with is a purely hypothetical question.
So you don't believe that it might be possible even in theory? You think it?
No, and if I did think it was possible, I would find the scientist who created it and put a bullet in him.
You would punish him? You you would punish a scientist who invented it?
Human beings are not ready for immortality, conditional or not.
Mm-hmm. So there are several problems which you see. First of all, it is impossible even in theory, and even if it is possible, it would be very bad. And why is it very bad? Because life is grim for you, you don't like it, it's sad, and some other
Oh, no,
problems.
no, no. I disagree with it, even if it's possible, because I don't think human beings are ready for unlimited life.
Not ready. Like what? Like
Can
not.
you imagine 2,000 years and Britney Spears is still around?
So you don't want to live together with Britney Spears on one planet, and you think it makes sense to just die. But you think that committing suicide because Britney Spears is still here is not sanctioned. It's too much, but not extending your life. You don't commit suicide because Britney Spears is here with you. You still you persist. You 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 tolerate her somehow. Like it's
No, I ignore her very much.
so. But if you live for too long, for 2,000 years, you will not be able to ignore her. She will somehow get into your space from the TV screen, and you will say, "No, no, please kill me."
That's close enough.
I don't understand. I think it's like something, some jokes or I don't know, being fun because being funny. It's impossible. Britney Spears is not worse than death, right? Like age-related diseases. It's very bad to suffer from all those diseases before uh, death finally comes. Aging is
Did you
horrible.
did you ever hear the myth of Orion?
Ryan,
Orion.
oh Ryan, no, I haven't. Is it a Greek
Uh,
myth? What?
yeah, it's a Greek myth. He was a hunter, fell in love with the goddess Artemis, and the gods granted him one wish. And he said, I want to live forever. The only problem is he didn't ask for eternal youth. So he slowly got older and older and weaker until, of all things, he turned into a cricket. But that's the Greeks for you.
Ryan. What is his name? Ryan?
Orion, Orion.
Ah, Orion. Orion. I got it. Yes, different pronunciation. Orion. Interesting. So, yeah, no, I'm asking about the eternal youth. Like you don't age. You are like you're now. Like you're smart. You're not frail. You're not senile. And still, many people they are afraid of that. They are starting like abusing me. I'm asking about how cool it would be to extend our life, and people react as if I'm offering them to kill somebody. Like let's murder somebody. This is the reaction which I get from some people, and this is so like, strange. Like I think it is some cultural background. Like we have some problem in our culture because it's impossible to justify the most horrible thing, death, that much. And especially in the US, in America, people tend to be very hostile towards this idea. Like, it will be, there are some cliche answers. It will be boring. Tyrants will be immortal. Overpopulation. I know all those cliches. You're not doing it, you're doing something borderline like joking. Like, it will be, I don't know, annoying Britney Spears. But you are not committing suicide right now because Britney Spears is still here. Like, you cannot.
Well, if she shows up on chat roulette, I'll think about it.
So death is nothing. Like, life is nothing. Life is just some joke, some unimportant thing, or a little problem occurred. A person whom I detest suddenly appeared in front of me. Okay, that's it.
No, quite the opposite.
So life is good, right? Life is not some joke. It is valuable. It is important. It is interesting overall for you.
I think it's both, actually.
Both what? It is valuable and what?
It's both valuable and a joke.
I just don't understand. Sorry, I'm trying to understand because this is my problem. It is the US, the scientific progress in the US is our main hope. We are transhumanists. We want to do something in order to stay forever, to extend the human life with technology, with the progress. And it might be possible in theory. Maybe there's a tiny little chance, like 1%, that it might be possible. And so many people are so hostile towards this, and this is just confusing. Like, I just don't understand.
On a guttural level, it's unnatural.
Unnatural, yes, absolutely. Most natural things are bad. Most unnatural things are good. What have you thought about that?
Oh no, there are quite a few natural things that are kind of bad.
No, natural means given by default. Natural is how it was. Unnatural is what we changed it into. So there was a field, this is natural. Then we can build a house in the field. This is unnatural. Natural means by default, unnatural means we improved it somehow. So 99% of natural things are bad. We are giving them. It's some bullshit, some cheap thing which is given to you by default. Most of unnatural things, artificial things, designed things, we designed them because they are better than natural. Why people use this idea that something natural means good, a synonym of good, unnatural, a synonym of bad, disgusting, unnatural. It's exactly the opposite.
I don't, because most natural things want to kill me.
Exactly. Most natural things want to kill you. Exactly. Yes, they are bad. Tsunami is natural. Mosquitoes are natural.
No.
Viruses.
That doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they want to kill me.
Well, if something wants to kill you, it's bad. Like, normally, we don't like things which want to kill us. We want to kind of resist being killed. Right?
Oh, I'm not making any moral judgment on them, but I do realize that a lot of those things want to kill me.
It's not a moral judgment. We just don't like. There is a natural bear. It is trying to kill me, and I'm not making a moral judgment when I take an unnatural gun and point at the natural bear. So this bear is natural. His clothes are natural. The pain is not moral. It's not morally wrong. It is just bad. I just don't like it. So I take some unnatural tool, a knife, a gun, and I unnaturally, artificially get rid of this natural thing. Right?
How exactly is a gun unnatural?
Because it is built by humans. It is a piece of technology. It is produced in a factory. It has moving details. I don't know. It is art. It is a piece of art.
So technically, basically is a sharpened stick, but human beings got away with those for quite a long time.
Yes, a sharpened stick is a little bit more natural. It is close to what is given to you by default. But you do a little bit of art. You unnaturally hone it, sharpen it. So yes, the more unnatural something, the better it is. The more natural something, the worse it is. It's more useless, more dangerous. So I want. So this is the first my first idea. Let's embrace unnatural things. Let's be as unnatural as possible because it is probably better. This is why we are making those unnatural things. Death is natural, absolutely. Death is one of those things which are natural. The bear is natural, the mosquitoes are natural, most viruses are natural. But most of the good things which are around you, like everything, the cigarette, the table, the clothes, everything good, everything around me is unnatural, and it is better than it would naturally be, right? So maybe death is also not naturally bad.
Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not. You can't just make a one-to-one comparison between the two.
Yes, I agree. There are some natural things which are better than some unnatural things. Like apples are natural things, they are good. Weapons are unnatural, most of them are kind of rather bad, like nuclear bombs, I don't know. But it's very rare. It's very rare which we can find this example when a random natural thing is better than a random unnatural thing. Like mostly it is 99% of natural things are useless or dangerous or very bad for you. And I think death is among them. What do you think?
Oh no, I think death is very valuable.
What do you mean by value? For me, value is in our brain. Like if I think about something, if I value something, this is the value, right? Where does the value come from in your understanding?
Ambition.
No, value. What is value? Like how? I don't know. Something is valuable. If something is valuable, it means that my brain has thoughts about it and it values it, so it generates value. So I can say that my toothbrush is valuable because my brain thinks about it. So this is why it is valuable. This is where value comes from, right? But when you're saying that death is
not always. Children don't want to brush their teeth. We tell them to brush their teeth because we know keeping their teeth healthy is valuable.
Exactly. So value comes from where?
They don't understand that. They just know they don't want to brush their teeth.
I understand. So how can I interpret it? So there is some God, some creator who thinks about the humanity, and this creator understands that you need to die, guys, because I think about that. So is this what you are alluding to? You are religious. You believe in God, the creator.
Oh, good God, no.
Then I don't understand your example. So children don't understand that brushing their teeth is good.
Yes. When you say that value comes from your own mind,
yes.
No, even if it does, benefit doesn't. And you can benefit from something you don't understand.
Absolutely. How do I benefit from my death?
I think paying a little more attention to life.
So if I am immortal, it means that my life will be useless, and I just don't understand. So I will not pay attention to life. How is that possible? How is that possible? Like, how the fact that I'm not going to die in the future makes me not pay attention to life. I still have my eyes, I see, I smell, I hear everything. Like, here it is, I'm attentive. If you start talking to me and I'm immortal, I will listen to you simply because I'm curious, out of curiosity. I will pay attention.
There are two things that I worry about when it comes to the possibility of human immortality. One, I worry about the people who would choose to live forever.
That's me. So what is your worry?
There are a lot of people alive right now I don't like. I don't want them to stay around forever. I think they do more harm than good. And what happens? Is there a moral judgment on who gets to live forever and who doesn't? And
Who
if so, who makes it?
who wants the people who want to live forever will take this medicine and live forever. Let them live forever. Let everybody be happy and eternal. No, I just
Sounds greedy. Sounds greedy to me.
how you're not taking away the life from other people. You're giving life to all the people. It's great. It's the best thing. Listen, so people whom you don't like will choose to live forever. Yes, Britney Spears. Maybe Britney Spears will will choose to live forever. Maybe you will have to, I don't know, somehow avoid her. But it is such a weird reason to just to reject everything. All the value is here on Earth while your brain is functioning. If you don't believe in the afterlife, because if you do, it's a completely different dialogue. But if you believe, if you're a materialist, then there is no other value. If your brain is gone, all the value is gone. The value exists while you can think about it, right?
Yes, but when I can't think about it, I'm not worried.
That's true. So if you already if you are already dead, that's fine. You don't have to do anything anymore. But while you are alive, you can think about that and say, it's dangerous. I don't want to die. Like, for example, if the bear is starting to attack you, you will not think, if he kills me, so what? It's okay. I will not worry. So you will run away. You will try to resist. But somehow, if it is a little bit farther away in the future, if it is dying from old age, you don't resist with the same eager, with the same resistance by some reason.
There's always a bear.
Yes, but the aging is worse. Like the suffering is worse from cancer, from Alzheimer, all those diseases. It's much more painful than being mauled by a beast. This is a bug. Maybe
It certainly takes longer.
it's more painful. It's horrible, and right now, while we are alive, we can do something. And this is the biggest problem, because there are two problems. The first problem is physical problem, which is so difficult. Like there is such a tiny chance that it might be achieved with technology, with bioengineering, with cybergization, maybe head transplant. Like we can imagine some ways of trying to extend our life for more and more. But the biggest problem is people just, not only do they not want it, like some people just they are completely cold towards this idea. They say, it's not interesting for me. It will be boring. But it's even more appalling if people are like hostile towards it. Like we are terrorists. We want to extend human life. This is so ridiculous. I'm trying to understand.
Usually terrorists want to shorten it.
By some reason, I am receiving a similar reception from Westerners, from people from the West, and I don't know why, and I don't know how to fight against this. And I want to fight against this because I think it might. First of all, I think that life is the biggest value. I think it might be possible in theory to extend it for more and more with technology, and we just need to change the society, change all the people. Like if everybody on Earth unites against death, if everybody on Earth agrees with me, and we will, all the governments start funding research in biotechnology instead of funding some bullshit like professional sport, football, baseball, all that bullshit. Don't waste money on it. Only spend money on useful stuff, on biological research. Maybe it will be possible to create such a pill. And the first like obstacle on this way are people like you who say that it is very bad, that I should stop, that it is horrible to even think about it, it's blasphemy. And I'm trying to kind of understand why are there people like you, what are you afraid of, and
The social repercussions of immortality.
overpopulation. This is a common
No,
one, right?
no. Because I guarantee you, with any advance in technology, there's always someone who wants to keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
And there are always other people who will want to use the promise or threat of it to control other people. And if those people can live forever, we're going to have problems.
Hmm. So, like immortal tyrant. Imagine Putin invents the immortal pill, and he is going to live forever, and other people will try uh, to ask him, please give us this immortal pill as well, and Putin is going to tell them, okay, then go and fight for me and conquer other lands. Then maybe I will grant you that pill. Is this the scenario which you're drawing? Like something like that?
No, no, I'm thinking, let's say Putin was immortal, and I kind of think he already thinks he is.
Yes.
But the idea is obey, or eventually you'll die.
But it is like that. So it will be easier to control people because right now, if some tyrant grabs me and tells me obey or else you will die, I will say, what am I losing? 70 years. Okay, I will not obey. Fuck you. But if I'm immortal, if he gives me an immortal pill, so if the tyrant grabs me, force feeds me the pill of immortality and says exactly the same, obey or else you will die, I will say, oh, I am immortal, I will live thousands and thousands of years, I don't want to die, okay, I will obey. I will obey. So basically this is the same that I have painted as well.
Something similar.
But
But more importantly, who would create this? Let's say it's a pill.
as an
Who would
example,
create, yeah, just hypothetically, let's say there is a pill for it. Who creates it? And who decides who gets it?
I think just like any other pill, some I don't know what some American company, pharmaceutical company, pharmaceutical giant, like who created aspirin. Maybe at the beginning it will be difficult to obtain. It will be expensive, maybe yes. Then it will be mass produced, like become like the staple drug, I think, and everybody will be able to get it eventually. It's like any technology. There is no difference with other type of medicine. I don't see any difference from aspirin, from antibiotics.
I've met people who still don't have electricity. Just because it exists doesn't mean it will be ubiquitous.
Yes, the third world countries will be lagging. They still eventually will be able to obtain it somehow. Like they may obtain it, but I don't think that it makes sense to prevent some development of progress because there will always be somebody or some nation or some society, some ghetto which will not be able to obtain it because of the poverty. Yeah, but we keep progressing. It's not a good reason. Like this is the problem with liberals. I think they want everybody to be equal, or because inequality is very bad, and some people think that they kind of intuitively come to the conclusion that the easiest way of making everybody equal is to make everybody poor, in a bad condition, like just in a very bad condition, because making everybody equally good, equally rich is more difficult than making everybody equally poor and
Have you noticed, though, that historically, the people who talk about everyone being equal usually want to see themselves as above the other people?
no, but you said something similar. Like there will be some African tribe, some little African village which will not get the cure for aging. Fair enough. Right now they are not getting vaccines. They are not getting contraception. I don't know. There are such villages, and you are kind of arguing that why would rich white men, develop something for themselves if there will be this little village of secluded African tribe. Yes, there will
Oh,
be.
no, I mean it differently. I mean, they will start saying in their own country, well, I don't like the people in this city. We won't distribute the pill there. And then eventually they'll start thinking, well, we only need so many poor people working for us. Let's not give it to them either.
Okay, fair enough. Then so it will be kind of yes, a closed society, like similar to immortal tyrant, basically, right? So it will not be freely distributed. So what? I won't let a tyrant be immortal. Let Putin be immortal. That's fine. Why? Because if death is defeated in theory, if it is possible for a human, for one human to be immortal right now, it means that the biggest tyrant, death, is defeated. Because death is killing more people with more pain, with more suffering. So if the worst,
I hate to tell
yeah,
you, but death kills everyone.
yes, it is the greatest tyrant. So, like white man can obtain the pill and without distributing it to some other people or some evil community only keeps this pill, this cure to themselves. Fair enough. So what? Other people are already dying. Like you can't imagine a tyrant or an evil user of this cure, which is worse than death itself. But if we have this cure in theory somewhere, it means that it could be distributed. Other people could obtain it. It is possible to defeat this the most horrible tyrant, the death itself. So I think this is not a good reason to think in this way, because what is worse than death?
Do you know during the transatlantic slave trade, there were some slaves, there were always a few, who would choose to jump in the water and drown rather than become a slave.
Yes, people commit suicide in horrible conditions. That's true. And
I think allowing a certain powerful elite to become immortal would inevitably lead to slavery for the rest of us.
you mean by by immortality? You mean like completely indestructibility, complete indestructibility? What I was talking about is just you're not aging, like you don't become old. I think it doesn't change that much. They still can be killed. They still can be defeated at a war. Like it's not such a big change, really.
One of the greatest things about human beings, especially politicians, is that they eventually retire.
No, they don't. No, there are dynasties of. Look at the North Korea. They just give power.
One generation to the next, it's not the same person.
But the same problem. It's not the same person, but it's the same problem. The same tyranny, the same ideology. I think no, it doesn't matter. They give their power to their children, and yeah, USSR, it was a tyranny kind of. There were many different rulers. They changed each other very quickly. Like there will be.
But if you live forever, why would you give your power to anyone, children or no?
Maybe you will not. There will be an eternal tyrant who will not give power to his children. Yes, he will reign himself. Right now, such tyrants give their power to their children, and it is inherited. There is not a big difference for tyranny. Like tyranny is already immortal. If you make people, if you make human tyrants immortal, tyranny will not become more immortal than it is right now. Tyranny is a concept. And
I think there's a difference between immortal and ubiquitous. It's like the old song lyric, meet the same boss, or meet the new boss, same as the old boss. But it's still a new boss.
Okay, the tyrant is immortal. What horrible things can an immortal tyrant do to everybody? Like immortal, eternal slavery. Everybody is going to be an eternal slave. Is this the biggest problem? Because right now, imagine a tyrant who is going to kill you, and kill you in a horrible way, in a lot of suffering. So right now, this tyrant is controlling everybody. This is death. This is aging. So we are under its tyranny. And imagine there is some theoretical pill which could save us from this greatest tyrant. And some human tyrant uses it and lives forever and ever and ever. Can this human tyrant do more evil than death is already causing to everybody? I don't think so. Like what, eternal slavery? Is this what you're thinking about? Let me.
I think it will be a consequence of an immortality drug. And by the way, when you say immortality, you're meaning
I mean, it doesn't
you
really.
just mean not aging. You don't mean immune to
No,
harm.
it doesn't matter for most of my examples. I think it's kind of the same. In my question, yes, I'm talking about stopping aging because this is kind of the most feasible thing right now for us to work towards, to try to achieve. But it might be some physical immortality, like with nano robots. You reconstruct your body, you are becoming a cyborg. It's not. I think it's the same. Like all the problems which you can imagine from those things, they are not such a big problems as death from aging, which is already looming upon us. What
Well,
can
that happens from the moment you're born.
Yeah, we're constantly running away from it. You, and we're trying to run away from it. But we run away when it is close. When your house is on fire, you will do everything in order to avoid death. But if it is at a distance, after 70 years, we're not doing anything. And instead, we are sitting and philosophizing how tyrant might become immortal, how it will be horrible for the society. It is killing you. It is exactly the same as if your house would be burning right now. Exactly the same, but farther away in time. That's it. This is the only difference. How is this?
I think you're looking at it a bit wrong because it's never that far away.
It is farther away. Imagine my house is on fire, and your house is on fire. So we're not going to think, I'm calling you and telling you, look, your house is on fire, do something, run away. And you're sitting and saying, but what if a tyrant, what if I put out the fire and then there will be overpopulation because, a tyrant comes to my house and sits here and he orders his evil orders from my house. Do you think it is I'm justified in putting out this fire? You're not saying it like that. If death is right here, if it is like scalding you with the flames of fire, you will struggle very badly.
He's right over there.
What is yes.
Yeah, he's right over there.
So you are going, if you are in danger right now, you will not think in this way. You are not going to give these arguments. You can use these arguments. A tyrant can use everything. Everything which you are doing can be reused by a tyrant. But every piece
Death,
of, yeah.
Death is eventually going to win, and he's always nearby. Does it mean I'm worried about him? Not really. Does it mean that I'm going to make it as difficult as possible for him? Yes.
You're talking about death from the old age. You're not worried about it, but you are going to resist? Or you're talking about some other tyrant?
Well, we can go back to the bear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to let the bear kill me.
Yes.
And I'm definitely going to try to kill it first.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean I want to be immortal.
Yes, and I'm trying to understand not only. So I have two misunderstandings kind of. So first of all, what is the difference between bear and death? Apart from two obvious, apart from this single difference that death is slightly distant. It is at a distance from you in the future, while a bear is right here.
Not if the bear is that close.
Yeah, yes. So you're going to struggle against the bear, but you are not going to struggle against death. But it is the same. So the bear is attacking you, and you're not saying, what if I start struggling against this bear? What if a tyrant comes and I don't know, uses the height of this bear to create a nice jacket for himself? Like you're not thinking in abstract terms. If the bear is attacking you,
I'm much more crude. If something tries to kill me, I'm going to try to kill it first.
yes, but you in theory you could reuse all your arguments against the fight against death. So I want to fight against death. You're using arguments why we should not do it, why it is bad. It is bad, and I'm saying that you can reuse all those arguments against the bear which is attacking you. You can say don't resist against this cause of death. Don't resist against the fire because there will be the similar problems. Like, but the death from old age is the biggest problem. The only difference is that it is distant. It is natural. Okay, dying from a bear is also natural. So this argument kind of, I think it is rebutted in some sense. So you're using a natural gun in order to resist against the natural bear. So you could kind of reuse it against death. You can use unnatural medicine in order to resist against natural death. But the only difference is time, right? What else is the difference between death and the bear?
I'm fine with death. I'm not okay with having it done to me by the bear.
What is the difference? Why?
That's because I'm just a cranky bastard and I don't want the bear to beat me.
So it is kind of psychological. So like you hate this bear. He's considered your enemy. You view a bear as your enemy, and because of the picture of a beast, and the fire which you're going to put out with the water, also it kind of it instinctively, you have some instincts and you consider those objects as your enemies, while death, which in my eyes, death is exactly the same. It will hurt you, it will harm you, it will make you a cripple. It is the same enemy as fire and bear, but somehow you don't perceive it as your enemy. Like similar how some beasts, they don't see a certain animal as a prey, right? Like a tiger may not see some huge goat as his potential prey, and he will ignore it and then die from starvation. So this is your instincts basically, right? Your instincts don't let you fight against
No, not exactly. What I worry about in addition is the psychological toll that not aging would have on people.
Is it worse than Alzheimer from the old age? Because if you live for a long time without having cancer, heart diseases, eventually it will be Alzheimer, because this is how aging damages our brain. So is eternal life going to damage our psychological state worse than potential Alzheimer?
Yes.
For example, how do you picture it?
If you hold on to something for long enough, you get more and more afraid of letting it go.
Mm-hmm. Yes. If I have an immortal life and I'm so happy, so that's a good, by the way, that's a very good argument, because some people view it the opposite. They say it will be boring, it will be horrible, But you're saying I will like it so much, I will enjoy it so much that I will be anxious about losing it, right?
Yeah, I would think would think it would turn everyone neurotic.
Maybe, yes, yes, yes. So right now I'm losing only 70 years in the future, but if I don't age, I will be afraid of leaving my room, maybe, right? I will be afraid of walking in the street because if a car hits me, I am losing an eternal life. This is such a big loss. That might be the
Yeah,
case.
like I said, death, he's already over there. I know he's there. My job is to make him wait as long as possible. But like I said at the beginning, human beings are not ready for immortality.
If they are arguing like you, well, of course I am ready. Okay, why do you not? If I tell you, for example, I am ready for immortality, I am raising my hand, I'm ready. So, and you are examining me, and how do you judge that I am not ready personally?
What would you do in 1,000 years that you couldn't do in 70?
Exactly the same things which I am enjoying. I will play music, I will hang out with my friends, I will eat nice food, I will just travel and learn languages, everything. I just repeat nice stuff. Learning, life is good. Life is, if something is good, we want more of it. It's normal. I would understand if some people would say it will be boring. It's a dumb argument. Like some activity, they don't become boring. But I don't know.
Well, I could make the same argument about whiskey. I like whiskey.
Exactly.
I enjoy whiskey. If I have too much of it, strangely enough, I end up sleeping on the floor.
No, this is why you need to extend your consumption of whiskey in time. So you cannot possibly consume 1 ocean of whiskey because your life is not enough. But
Okay, you obviously haven't spent a weekend with me.
no, but if your life is extended for long enough, you drink whiskey every day. Have a glass of whiskey every evening, forever. This is nice. This is enjoyable. So I
Oh,
think
gee, try to talk me out of it.
maybe maybe you just don't believe that it is possible in theory, and you say you're trying to find psychological justification of not trying to do everything to achieve it.
No, I don't believe it's practically possible, and I believe if it was ever achievable, it would not lead to anything good.
I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm trying. I will try to understand more people. I need to go soon. Thank you for your interview. Uh, I hope I will be able to to change minds of people like you. I don't know. Maybe you will.
Strangely enough, the only way that can happen is by having conversations like this.
Yes. Thank you for your time.
By the way, before you go, I'm going to ask you for a bit of an exit tax. There are two things that I think are going away these days: conversation, that you've got down, and memorized jokes. So I'm going to ask you for one joke.
One joke.
Yep.
I don't like. I don't know any jokes. I'm so sorry. I'm so
All right.
embarrassed.
All right. Fine. I'll tell you a joke, but the next time we run into each other, I expect you to have one joke memorized.
Okay, I will search for English jokes. Go on.
Do you want a dad joke or dark joke?
Let, 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 uh, let's do a dark joke. Dark.
All right. How many dead hookers does it take to change a light bulb?
Mm, zero. You don't need any.
Well, it's not 12. My basement's still fucking dark.
I didn't understand. Sorry. Look, my feeling of the English language is not enough to perceive humor, which is a very thin level.
All right.
Sorry.
We'll try this other one. Why did the police officer arrest the duck?
Mm, look, I have no idea. Sorry.
For quack.
Like crack. Is it like similar to crack or something? I don't
Yeah,
understand. Different type of humor.
basically.
Sorry, guy. Different type of humor. Like it's
All right.
culturally. Okay. Thank you.
It's been fun, and I hope we can pick up this conversation again on both of our 750th birthdays.
Yes. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right.